Good afternoon. I'm George Latimer, Westchester County Executive, and welcome to our Westchester Weekly Update. Today is Wednesday, July 5th, and we're filing this report right after the 4th of July weekend, the extended weekend, and we hope that everybody had a great time, a good time for family and friends. And if you were out seeing fireworks last night or at any other time during the weekend, we hope that you were able to celebrate the Independence Day holiday with those that you love. As we restart the daily work week for the rest of this week and throughout the summer, I will be joined in this report in a few minutes by the chairman of the Westchester County Board of Legislators, Vedat Gashi, and we're going to mention something that's rather serious that we're going to be acting on together in our respective capacities. Then I'll be joined by Deputy County Executive Ken Jenkins to give you an update on transportation and recreation and a few of the other key issues that are on everybody's mind, including the current status of asylum seekers here in Westchester County. The time of the year that we're in now may be a little bit slower paced, but the work of county government continues on. This time of the year, our executive departments are working on budget preparations, assessing how we've done in the first half of the year, making some projections for the rest of the year, and then beginning the process of planning the 2024 fiscal year budget. And the county operates on a calendar year fiscal year, so the departments do have to start working on their proposals during July and August so that we can make some decisions in September and then present a budget to the Board of Legislators, a capital budget in October and an operating budget in November. So it will be a busy time for us. Board of Legislators will be dealing with a number of different legislative issues, and there'll be time to discuss that on another day. But we have a very serious matter to discuss right now. I'm going to ask the chair of the Board of Legislators, Vedat Gashi, to join me here at the podium. Mr. Chairman, thank you very much for taking time to be with us. The topic we're going to discuss very briefly reflects on the Westchester Sports Hall of Fame. Since its establishment in 1968, the Westchester Sports Hall of Fame has been dedicated to celebrating over 200 remarkable individuals who have achieved greatness in their respective fields and made significant contributions to sports here in Westchester County. The Hall of Fame not only acknowledges their athletic accomplishments, but it also values their positive impact on society, considering them as influential role models, particularly to young people. However, recent events have cast a shadow over the reputation of one inductee, Rich Leaf, following his recent guilty plea to a federal pornography charge.
Yeah, in light of that, we have respectfully requested that the Hall of Fame Committee take immediate action to remove Rich Leaf from the Sports Hall of Fame. And by doing so, I believe that we send a clear message that our organization is committed to the safety and well-being of the community, and that we won't tolerate any actions that compromise the trust and respect that we've earned over the years. We believe the importance of accountability and believe that in taking swift and decisive action in this matter, the Hall of Fame will uphold its mission to honoring both the sports community and our wider community. And I thank the county executive for his initiative on this important matter. Thank you.
It's important to note that Mr. Leaf has not just been accused of an action, but he has pled guilty to that action, and that's that of child pornography. A crime is a crime of various sorts, but some are particularly heinous. And whenever we're dealing with an individual in a position of trust and faith that has committed a crime in that general direction, we feel the need to act and to act quickly. So together, the chairman and I have drafted a letter to the Westchester Sports Hall of Fame Board of Directors for their serious consideration. It's an unusual step for us to take, but we take it because we believe that is the right thing to do. And I want to thank Chairman Vedat Gashi. I know he's speaking on behalf of the Board of Legislators in taking this action. We believe it's the right thing to do. We believe that Mr. Leaf now will face the criminal justice system, and he will have to make restitution as they determine. But we here in Westchester County want to understand that we're not going to uphold individuals who have committed and admitted to certain types of crimes and make that a clear statement of public policy. So we cover that very sobering ground. Now we want to get into a more standard update, and in a second I'll be joined by Deputy County Executive Ken Jenkins. First of all, we want to make sure that everybody realizes that we began, as of this past Saturday, July 1st, free buses across Westchester County in the Beeline bus system. That includes all of our Beeline buses, and it also includes all of our paratransit buses, which serve those who are disabled. All of the routes that Westchester Beeline bus runs, including those that go into the Bronx and into Manhattan as well. There may be a bus line or two that is not run by Westchester County that you might see, a Hudson link that links Rockland County, or a link that goes into Stamford, Connecticut. Those are not Beeline buses, but all the rest are in the Beeline system, and we become fare free. We know that this experiment, which we did last summer, summer 2022, has worked in helping us raise ridership. More people are being reintroduced to the bus system, some of whom fell off during the COVID years, and some of whom, for one reason or another, just find it, perhaps less convenient to take the bus because they haven't taken it recently. What they'll find when they ride the buses is that we now have an electric hybrid, an electric bus system. It represents a cleaner exhaust at the side of the bus and the bus stop. It represents less environmental impact. Also, the newer buses have come with charging ports in the bus, so if you're there trying to charge your cell phone or a laptop, you're able to do that while you're in the bus going from point A to point B. They're all fully air conditioned, and we think it's a good way to get from point A to point B if in that direction that you're taking, the bus serves that area. So we're very happy to be able to do this, and we have over 27 million passengers a year in the Beeline bus system during these summer months of July and August, and then the first weekend of September, which is Labor Day weekend, where that portion of the travel will be fare free. And you don't have to show identification. You merely get on the bus, ride it until you reach your destination, get off the bus, and enjoy something in Westchester County. There are a lot of great places to go to that the Beeline buses will take you, and they will connect you to the Metro North system into the city. And in some cases, they'll connect you to the New York subway system at 241st Street, at 233rd Street, at 242nd Street on the west side of town. Over 65% of all Westchester residents are within walking distance of a Beeline bus stop, and so we encourage you to take a look at those routes and determine if a Beeline bus trip is right for you. Just want to mention one more thing about the buses, then I'll ask Ken to join me on the parks update. There's a conversation as well, who is paying for these bus rides? What we have done is suspended the fare box revenue to run the system because we have sufficient other revenue to offset that. And someone will presume that it's tax dollars revenue, but we receive revenue from lots of different sources. We get direct state aid for transportation. We have other revenue-generating operations in the county that brings in dollars and offsets expenses and provides us with additional revenue. That additional revenue then can compensate for the loss of revenue from the fare box. So this is not, I who don't take the bus, I'm paying for your bus ride. This is the ability of the county government within smart fiscal management, and we've improved our bond rating over the last couple of years. We've improved our reserve fund. We've had quite a few compliments from the state controller's office that we've reduced the fiscal stress of this county, and we've cut property taxes 4 straight years. So this is good management that allows us to have the resources to do this. I think it's important for you to understand that underpinning, because you will see people who will take a different attitude about this. But be advised that we've been able to do this prudently, fiscally, and at the same time provide a benefit to you, the riding public. So Beeline buses are free through the 4th of September, almost 2 full months of it, and we hope you have a chance to ride it and enjoy it. Now, some of the things you're going to do to enjoy it will be to go to our many park systems. So Ken Jenkins, our Deputy County Executive, will run through some of the events that we have coming up. Ken.
All right, thanks, George. And certainly over the July 4th Independence Day weekend, we had a tremendous fireworks at Kensico Dam Plaza, which is on July 3rd. Over 15,000 folks were in attendance, and there were 2 quick rainstorms due prior to the fireworks, but the FDR Drive band was awesome, and they continued to make sure that people were feeling good throughout that particular process. And certainly we had our crew DJ there that goes around to many of the different parks that you can catch up to during the year. We moved up the fireworks from 15 minutes to 9 p.m., and most of the crowd was able to stay, and they enjoyed a tremendous show that we saw. So great show that happened. We want to thank all of the folks that helped make that happen. Certainly the people in the Parks Department, the nationally accredited award-winning park system that we have, the people that are directly there at Kensico Dam Plaza, but every member of the Parks, Recreation, and Conservation Department that pulled together under leadership of Kathy O'Connor and First Deputy Peter Tartaglia, but everyone that was engaged and involved, all of the first responders. It's a tremendous effort between our Department of Public Safety, the town of North Castle, who provides additional police support, all the EMS workers, all the fire department personnel was there. Again, no issues. And again, we just kept our fingers crossed to make sure that there was not going to be continuous lightning strikes. That didn't happen. Again, a wonderful event at Kensico Dam Plaza. Mohansic Golf Course during this weekend, obviously there was some tremendous thunderstorms that came through, some with significant wind events, and because of that, the Mohansic Golf Course suffered some damage late afternoon on Monday. There were several trees that were taken down across the entire golf course, so the golf course is currently closed. I know that in a 90-degree day, especially the duffers, they don't care whether it's snow. As the county executive has pointed out before, they'll take out the orange balls and try to hit on snow if they can, so a little bit of heat doesn't bother them. But the reality is that the golf course at Mohansic is going to be closed for the time being. There were upward of 50 trees down throughout the course, so for everyone's safety, we have to go through it, and the Parks Department is tremendously doing their job. We had 5 cars that got damaged, and the driving range is damaged as well. So the crews are working overtime to clean and restore power and get the course back as quickly as possible. For right now, Mohansic Golf Course is down. The beaches and pools have been open daily. They'll be open daily through Labor Day, Monday, September 4th, with Croton Point Beach open Wednesdays through Saturdays, weather permitting, 11 a.m. to 6:30 p.m. And the last entry at our pools and parks are open. The last entry is at 6 p.m. A proof of residency in Westchester County is required at all 4 pools: Saxon Woods in White Plains, Wilson's Waves in Mount Vernon, Sprain and Tibbetts in Yonkers, as well as the Glen Island Beach in New Rochelle, with a driver's license or Westchester County address, or having a Westchester County Park Pass. Either one of those will suffice to make sure that you get in to one of our wonderful beaches and pools through the park system. Admission fees apply at all those facilities, and there's parking fees at Tibbetts, Glen Island, and Croton Point. Additionally, there are no pets allowed at any of our facilities during the summer, but certainly in the winter, there's plenty of folks that love walking their dogs along the beaches that we have at either Croton Point, Croton Beach, or anywhere else that we have a facility that you can walk through our county park system. Coming back this Sunday, because we know we take bicycle Sundays off for holiday weekends, so none this weekend on July 2nd. So we wanted to make sure to remind everyone that the popular Westchester County tradition will extend its season for 4 more Sundays through July. So July 9th, July 16th, July 23rd, and July 30th. And we know Bicycle Sundays is one of Westchester's most popular traditions, and we're all excited under the county executive's leadership to bring additional Sundays back for this year's event. Come out and enjoy and ride around in the Bronx River Reservation. That's right on the Bronx River Parkway, and certainly take a time and enjoy that. And speaking of that, because at the end of the Bronx River Parkway is where Kensico Dam Plaza is, and we have our Heritage Festivals coming back. And this July 9th, this Sunday from 12 to noon, is the largest single Heritage Festival. That is the Hispanic Heritage Festival. That will be Sunday, July 9th. Again, noon to 6 p.m. As County Executive pointed out, you certainly can take the free buses to get up and around, and we certainly recommend that, because those facilities, especially at the Heritage Day, it gets to be a challenge to get in and out of there. So again, take public transportation. It'll be a good opportunity for you to ride along the Beeline system and see some tremendous things that are happening. And that's what's happening right now in our wonderful park system. So we're going to turn back over to County Executive to talk some more about our Freedom Concert. Thank you.
Thank you, Ken. And we do have a special event coming up. We mentioned last week about the Kensico special event with the fireworks. We have another one coming up with the summer season now officially on us, and this one will be at the Westchester County Center. It's going to be Friday night, July 21st at 7 p.m., and it is a special freedom concert. It honors all of our veterans here in Westchester County. It will be the last activity while the State Department of New York American Legion Convention is being hosted here in Westchester County. They will be at 2 of the area hotels at the Sons of the American Legion and the Ladies auxiliary of the American Legion. But for all of our residents, our veterans and non-veterans alike, this concert is an oldies concert. And again, Friday night, July 21st at 7 p.m. Our DJ MC is going to be Dennis Dion Nardone. He's on radio station WVOX every morning, and he's a great aficionado of music from the 50s and the 1960s, and that's exactly what this lineup is like. We have Tony Orlando. You may remember him. He was with a group called Tony Orlando and Dawn, and they had some major hits, Knock 3 Times, Candida, and Tie a Yellow Ribbon Around the Old Oak Tree. We have Jay and the Americans. They had some tremendous songs, tremendous lead singer, and songs that you'll remember and you'll enjoy from that era. Bobby Wilson will be performing. He is the son of Jackie Wilson. And Jackie Wilson had Lonely Teardrops and Higher and some other hits back in the 1960s. There's Dennis Stefano. There's Charlie Thomas's Drifters. And, of course, that's the great Drifters. Charlie Thomas, one of the original, the last remaining original member of the Drifters. And then groups that will play music from that era, Just Nuts and the Chiclets. And the Chiclets are sort of a modern version of some of the girl groups that existed back in the 1960s. So all of them will be on the stage. It'll be a tremendous concert. This is the first time the American Legion has held their state convention here in Westchester. We want to have them a good kickoff before they head back to their respective parts of the states. Concert tickets will be 50% off when you use the discount code 50OFF, 50 off. You'll get all this information online. The code is valid starting now through Friday, July 7th. This Friday at 11 p.m. Tickets can be purchased on Ticketmaster, ticketmaster.com, and you do have a limit of 4 tickets per person, but we've got plenty of space in the county center. We hope to fill it up with people that will have a good Friday night in the summertime listening to music, and even some of the younger people will get a kick out of hearing music that they hear on WCBS FM and some of the older radio stations. But that Freedom Concert was a brainchild of Ron Tochi, our Director of Veteran Affairs. He's had tremendous assistance from Natasha Caputo, who is our head of film and tourism, and we hope it'll be a fun time. We hope you put it on your calendar. We're going to mention it every single week until we have the concert, and we want to get a good house there, full house at the Westchester County Center. I want to highlight now on a more serious note where we are with our asylum seekers in Westchester County. There's been no additional sites established since we last spoke a week ago Monday, so about 10 days since then. There are 3 locations currently in place in Yonkers off Tuckahoe Road, in Ardsley at Ardsley Acres, and White Plains at the Central Courtyard on Central Avenue. In Yonkers, there are 86 rooms occupied. We have 151 adults and 87 children. In Ardsley, we have 35 rooms occupied, 61 adults and 13 children. And in White Plains, 27 rooms occupied, 56 adults and 25 children. In the aggregate, we have 148 hotel rooms, motel rooms that are in use currently by asylum seekers. And the total population is under 400, 393. So we have 400 individuals with us now in those 3 locations, no additional locations in the last 2 weeks. I should point out there have been no crime incidents reported, no responses by the police for any kind of protection or reports, and we've had no communicable health outbreaks. Those are the 2 public policy areas that we're monitoring very closely. Many people are concerned that these things might become a problem, and we're hoping to, as I said a number of times from this podium, manage this situation as well as we can. We know that New York City is on overload. We know down at the Texas border they're at overload. The policy issues that affect asylum seekers' presence here in the United States is a matter of federal public policy. Your Congress members, your senators, and the president have to deal with those levels of issues. But as they have been brought to the front door of New York City, and the New York City leadership has found themselves unable to accommodate the continuing demand, they've reached out to those of us around us. In Westchester, we're doing our share, a fair share. We've advocated for quick work visas for these individuals. We've advocated for a federal immigration court established in White Plains to adjudicate their cases on a fast track. And we continue to monitor this and try to keep all of this within a reasonable, manageable situation, showing both the humanitarian element of this, which cannot be forgotten, but as well at the same time the responsibilities that we have to the residents of Westchester County to ensure that they are in a safe situation and they're not negatively impacted by these individuals. And so far, we've been good to our word, and we intend to do that every day. I want to publicly thank those leaders in each of those communities, the mayor of Yonkers, Mike Spano, the mayor of White Plains, Tom Roach, and the mayor of Ardsley Village, Nancy Kabulian, and their respective boards. In the main, those members have all been active and engaged in trying to help manage this as well in their communities, and we appreciate the partnership between the county and those local governments. And I think we've had a better result than some of our neighboring counties have so far because we've had that cooperative attitude. So with that, I think we've exhausted the handful of topics that we wanted to cover today. The summertime is very much about our parks and our recreation programs. We continue to make our day-to-day responsibilities, the way we run the Westchester County Airport, the way we run the Beeline bus system, the way we treat sewerage at our 7 sewer treatment plants, our county police constantly on deployment, policing the various parks, parkways, and also the various county park sites to make sure we do our job there professionally, our Department of Emergency Services, Community Mental Health, our Department of Health, on and on and on, all of these different elements of county government trying to provide those services that we are tasked with providing. I appreciate watching. Glad we could have a shorter report. And if there are any questions, you're certainly welcome to reach out to us at 914-995-2900. I'm George Latimer, Westchester County Executive. Thank you for watching. Have a good and safe week, and we'll see you next Monday.